Welcome everybody. Hey, I'm Shelly Palmer and this is Crypto Wednesday. Welcome. I am glad you're here. We are on the east side of Manhattan on a beautiful day. I am not sure that we have all our friends from Facebook here. I know we have our friends from YouTube and I see our friends from LinkedIn. And I had seen our friends from Facebook, but then they seem to just disappear. It's really unfortunate. I know Facebook Live, they changed this to events and then they changed to what have you. I just don't see it ever really working. Very unfortunate, very unfortunate, very unfortunate. Oh well. Facebook friends, we hardly knew you. Anyway, welcome everyone from YouTube. Welcome everybody from LinkedIn. Glad you're all here. Hello, Joey. Joey is monitoring YouTube chat. He's monitoring the LinkedIn chat and whatever's happening with the Facebook chat. Not really sure what's going on over there. So sorry, Facebook folks. We love you, but the Facebook interface is just not what it used to be. It's Crypto Wednesday. We are having so much fun today because today we're waiting for the London fork, EIP 1559. What's the countdown to EIP 1559? That's the big question. What is the actual countdown? It's pretty soon. Let's see. Let's have a quick look and see what EIP 1559 looks like. 20 hours, 10 minutes, 34 seconds. That's where we are. That's the difference between where we are right now and where we're going to be when the London hard fork happens. If you are in chat, please identify yourself. Say hi. Tell me where you are. Tell me a little bit about what you're doing. If you are on LinkedIn, if you are on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, just give us a little ping and tell us where you are. Hey there, Charlie from Detroit. Glad you're here. Just let us know what you're doing. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the London hard fork, what it means to you, what I think it's going to mean in general, what I think it's going to mean for everyone. And then we're going to go through a little bit of the news. There has been quite a bit of news over the last 2 weeks that has all been sort of like pointing towards today. Robert, how are you from the Bronx Zoo? I'm glad you're here. We are minutes away from the London hard fork. And what that's ultimately going to be, Steve Gatola and Patty Rubio, welcome. Jim Thomas, welcome from Minneapolis. What this is going to mean is, I'm going to say unclear right now. Tim from Connecticut, Timothy Brooks, welcome. It is unclear. It's an improvement that will be coded with a couple of other ones, again, in about 20 hours. What it's supposed to do is switch over from the way that mining is done, the way that gas prices or gas fees are calculated. It's supposed to make them more predictable. Also, it's going to burn a certain amount of Ether, which Ether, the coins or currency of Ethereum, with each time a block is written. And there will be a miner tip provision or protocol that allows the miners to maybe only take a 20-30% hit in their mining fees. Now, no one knows exactly how this is going to work, whether it will be more predictable or less predictable. Nobody knows till this starts to happen how people will figure out how to manipulate this particular change in the Ethereum blockchain and the mining practices. Reminding everyone that Ethereum 2.0, the actual transition from proof of work to proof of stake, isn't going to happen till at the earliest mid-22. So let's be very clear that EIP 1559, which is 20 hours away, is a change. It's the first big change in a while. The price of Ethereum, let's go have a quick look, just so, because sometimes that tells us what a little bit more about what we may or may not know. The price of ETH today, it's at $2,700. It's up a little bit. It's up about 7% today. So the market's sort of excited. It had been as low as 1,700 just a week ago. So we've had a big increase, almost a 50% increase in a week. It's 2,700 is, I mean, its high in May was 4,000. So the market may be thinking that this matters. They may be. At the end of the day, I think EIP 1559 is priced into the marketplace. So let's talk about why people were saying, well, it's going to double or triple the price of Ether, which I don't think it is. Not today anyway. It's going to take a minute for this to take an effect. Now, when you write a block, a certain amount of ether is going to be burned in each transaction. But remember, it's not like Bitcoin. Bitcoin, the halving of the rewards for mining are programmed into Bitcoin, and at specific intervals, there's half as much Bitcoin available when you mine a block as a reward. And this goes on and on until you reach the 21 million Bitcoins, and then they're done. ETH isn't like that. ETH will, you make all the coins you want as long as you're writing blocks. So they're going to make it a deflationary currency, but I don't know how deflationary. Wow, nice crowd today. Okay, welcome Adam Valley and Justin and Christopher, and welcome Scott Moss, and welcome Colleen Rush. Welcome. And welcome Ettore. We're glad you're all here. Please tell everybody a little bit about what you do, because that's fun. You guys get to talk amongst each other as well as just talk to me. This is an Ask Me Anything kind of day. There are some complex concepts we're going to go over today, and some really easy concepts we're going to go over today, and then some controversial concepts we're going to go over today. So please feel free to ask me anything, and we'll put it up on the screen, and then we can all talk about it, which is great. Let's go into a couple of things that are newsworthy, and then we'll start to talk a little bit more about the impact of 1559. Last week we got confirmation, and this week it was announced Microsoft is now doing Microsoft 365 in the cloud. What this means is that Windows in the cloud, which means that you'll be able to spin up a full virtual Windows computer. They've got some amount of memory, some amount of computational power you'll be able to purchase as a virtual computer. That's cool. It's not new. The concept isn't new. I mean, let's face it. Citrix has been around. There's been a lot of ways to spin up a Windows computer. Amazon Workspaces. You could, if you felt like putting a computer in the cloud, you could do it any day of the week, 20 ways to Sunday. What makes this interesting is that it's enterprise level, that Microsoft is going to be renting you Windows now. This doesn't work for road warriors. It doesn't work where you don't have an internet connection. It doesn't work on an airplane, it works as good as any Wi-Fi on an airplane, which is to say not that great. So you're still going to need local copies of all kinds of stuff, and I'm not sure you can. It's probably good for an office space where you need to be online anyway. I don't know if it's good for anything else, but it sort of tells you that everybody is going towards as a service, and that's the important part. As a service. The other piece of news that caught my attention this week, not for nothing, our boy Elon was out again, and I leave Elon alone. Oh my God, he's actually mentally deranged now. I read an article. He actually said it earlier in July, I think, but I read the article this week, and I was like, really? People just beating on this guy? He said they were going to have level 5 autonomy by the end of the year. I expected him to be making a prediction about Bitcoin or Ethereum or the hard fork or some other cryptocurrency or DeFi or Web 3.0 thing. He didn't. He just went deep into level 5 cars. Hopefully they will figure out what their cryptocurrency policies are. But as far as Elon's level 5 cars, for those of you who don't know, level 5 autonomy is the car drives on any road in any place and any non-road anywhere on its own, as well or better than a human. Yeah, that ain't happening by the end of the year. So, sorry, Elon. I don't know what he was thinking, but I do like the Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs idea. All right, let's get back to the crypto world. NFTs. To NFT or not to NFT? This has been a big question people have been asking me, especially with Ethereum now, with the new protocol, with lower, what will be predictable gas prices. I don't know that they're going to be any lower, but they're going to be more predictable. At least that's what EIP 1559 is telling us, that we're going to have more predictable gas fees. So assuming that we do, everybody has come to us in the last, 6 to 10 weeks. Actually, it's probably been closer to 6 months, but the last 6 to 10 weeks have been really active. Everybody wants to get in the NFT game, and they want to get in deep. Now look, I put this matrix up. This is a regular risk matrix, right? This is the same matrix you would use when you were just doing straight up risk. I have known knowns. What do I actually know? Right? Like what the EIP 1559 is coming. I know that's true. I don't know what it's going to mean, but I know it's happening. So there's a date and a time for that. What is a known unknown? Well, I'm not quite sure what it's going to mean. What do I know? The gas prices are supposed to be predictable, right? What do What's an unknown? I don't know if that's going to move the price of Ether up or down. I don't know if it's going to speed up or slow down the blockchain when they write a block. There's a lot of things I know. Then there's the unknown knowns, right? Someone out there understands something about whatever it is I'm going to do, my NFT policy. Someone understands about digital wallets, but I don't. So it's unknown to me, but someone knows it. That's a really important category. And then there's the scariest of all categories when you're talking about any strategy, which is unknown unknowns. That box should always be empty. A lot of people don't have that box empty when they do this kind of strategy. I always leave it empty. If you can write it down by definition, it doesn't belong in there. And the only way you get past an unknown is to be ready for anything as best you can. And that's the Boy Scout motto: be prepared. Like, I'm ready to adapt. Because if you can write something in the unknown unknowns box, what that means is you have some sense of it. That's out. The stuff that in that box is outside your imagination. So those are the 4 quadrants we like to fill in. 3 of them we fill in. 1 of them we leave blank by definition. But we constantly ask, okay, if it's unknown, where does it really belong, right? So in an NFT strategy, this is the kind of conversation you want to have with your team. What is it going to do for us, right? Are we using it for fan development? Are we using it for data gathering? Do we expect it to be permanent? Are we looking for a secondary market? There's a bunch of things like you're trying to accomplish. What don't you know? No, you don't know much about counterfeiting. How will people counterfeit? How will people not counterfeit? How long will an NFT really last? Will it be safe? Will it last forever? Or do I need pinning services? What don't I know about the longevity of an NFT? What's it going to do to what are the social justice warriors going to do to me on energy consumption? I don't know. But we know we don't know those things, right? So got to put those down. Then the unknown knowns. This one is very, very easy with NFTs because most people don't have the technical knowledge. So the unknown knowns. Somebody knows precisely and exactly how to write this business knowledge. Are our people those people? This business logic. Are those people our people? And you go down the list of things that other people know that you might not, and that's the knowledge you absolutely need to accumulate if you're going to get into this NFT game right now. Are you a speculator? Sure. And I think I've gone over this many times before. If you don't know what an NFT is, do yourself a favor, go look it up. I have a book out. You can. It's actually kind of super fun. You can go to Amazon. This is a paperback, and it's also a Kindle ebook. It's free if you're on Kindle Unlimited. It's like $2.99 if you're just a normal like Kindle user, like for ebook. The paperback, which I keep saying this with astonishment. I don't know why I'm still astonished by it, but I really am. It's the paperback is $7.99 retail. It's outselling the ebook 4-1. I don't know why that is, but people like paper books, one way or another. This book is a short read. It's like under 100 pages. I keep adding to it. It's under 100 pages, and it's everything you need to start to think about this. It's not a comprehensive how-to book. It's a book that's going to help you literally just think through the things you need to think through with respect to smart contracts, NFTs, blockchain, cryptocurrency, and I think that that will be very helpful if you are wondering what an NFT actually is. I would beg you, get yourself a digital wallet, any digital wallet. MetaMask is fine. METAMASK. There's a Chrome extension, some browser extensions, I think, for a couple browsers. Go buy a little Ether. Get a Coinbase account. That's pretty safe. Just go through the process. Like, what is it to pick up $100 worth of Ether today? If you had to buy $100 worth of Ether today, call it an investment in your own future. How hard is it to do? How hard was it to set up the digital wallet? How safe do you feel about it? Were you able to make that transaction just at Coinbase to buy $100 worth of ETH? $100 worth of ETH today is going to buy you a fraction of a Ether. You're looking at a $2,700 one full coin. It's $2,700. Don't do that. Get $100 worth. It's just understand how to set up a wallet and figure that out. All right, let's get a let's get some questions here. Let's get a good sense of what these questions are. Let's see who's asking them. Corey B's got a question. Let's see what that question actually is. Is the London fork a risk for overall chain governance, i.e. 51% attack from a new vector? That is a known unknown, at least for me. Corey B, that is a fantastic question, and thank you so much for asking it. For those of you who do not know, a 51% attack is possible when a majority of the miners gang up on you, which they could do because they're the ones who are imperiled by 50 and 59. You should go read about the various kinds of attacks and the security issues with all blockchains. Private and public blockchains have certain vulnerabilities. People tend to think they don't. They do. You can hack them. You can overpower them. What makes Ethereum such a valuable blockchain is its immense size, literally immense size. It's hard to overwhelm, very hard to overwhelm the Ethereum blockchain. The number of nodes is just extraordinary. So anyway, I don't think, Corey, that you're going to see that kind of attack. I don't. I mean, I'm not the world's foremost expert in how that might happen, but I'm not seeing that kind of unrest. Here, let me just do something real quick. I'm going to show you something which may or may not help prove my point. We're going to find out if it proves it or not. So, as you know, for fun, just for fun, I have a couple of mining rigs open. This is the digital wallet that I'm using right here. That's the address of the wallet. You are certainly welcome to send as much ETH to that wallet as you like. That's the address of my. That you can send me ETH all day. I'm kidding. Don't do it. I just don't need you to send me ETH. But anyway, that's the address of the wallet. There are 2 mining rigs, 2 active workers going right now. What they're doing, it's earning. I'm going to just click this button for you. Daily, it's earning 0.00292. Weekly, it's earning 0.02. Monthly, it's earning 0.088. In dollars, that's not a whole lot of money. Where are we? Monthly, it's going to pick up $240 worth of Ethereum. Now, there are 2 rigs running here. One, the current hash, mega hashes per second is 94, but I've been averaging on these 2 rigs 106.2 mega hashes a second. This is a graph that kind of shows the average hash rate. These are the workers themselves. These are the names of the 2 rigs that are running, and the amount of shares they've come up with, and the current hash rate they're both running at. PHQ rig is running a little slow. I don't know why. PHQ rig 2 is running a little better. This seems must be sad. I don't know why that's as sad as it is. But anyway, there has been absolutely no change to anything here, and when we get notified, we get notified by the people at Ethermine, which is this is the number 2 mining consortium in it's the number 2 mining consortium in the world. So it's based out of, I think it's based out of China. I'm pretty sure it is. They've just been cranking and cranking. They paid. They're planning to pay. They're not attacking anyone. They haven't said, hey, let's go. If you took the top 6 mining groups that do Ether, they could easily do a 51% attack. I've heard not a word. No one's saying a thing. So I don't think it's happening. Don't know. Might be. But so far, haven't heard anybody start saying, let's go storm the castle. So I'm pretty sure that we're not going to see a stormed castle. Hello, Lori from Connecticut. And hello, Corey, again. Lori Fina says, PDS is a platform purposely built to... Yeah. Okay, welcome. We're glad you're here. If any of you have any questions, David Sharmat's welcome. Anatori, welcome. And yeah, if any of you have any questions, please feel free to ask, because this is a day where I can do all of that for you. Now, interestingly, our friends at Walmart have decided they're going to do their own bank. They're going to the banking business. And a little birdie told me that there's a very distinct possibility that our friends at Walmart and Walgreens, by the way, it's Walmart and Walgreens, They're getting into mobile-first banking. They're looking at all the people. Here, make this a little bigger for you. They're looking for peeps who are unbanked or people who are mobile-first. That's millennials who don't trust normal banking. Wow, that's a big deal. It's like a huge, big deal. So, are they going to get into crypto? Are we going to see digital wallets once they're in a digital wallet world? Where's the crypto going to be? What's the IRS have to say? What's the Walmart and Walgreens are going to become banks? So the reason I put that in a crypto show is that DeFi, decentralized finance, the world we're in right now, if you think about it, it's democratizing banking or financial transactions in the way that the personal computer democratized information or video or artwork. So here you've got new players, right? Where usually to be a bank, you would assume they'd be a banker. Sure, we've had store credit cards for years, but store credit cards are for the most part white label products of Capital One Bank or another credit card institution that is a bank that has a white label program. This isn't going to be white label. Walmart, Walgreens, and many other retailers I'm aware of are getting serious about their own banking products. Okay, is that a giant leap from the decentralized finance that we've been talking about for the last 5 years? The answer is no, it isn't. And so what does that do for lending? What does that do for microloans? What does that do to payday loans? What is that like? What does the fintech world and where does that cross over with the world of DeFi and Web 3.0? To me, that story at Walmart fascinates me, just fascinates me because of its implication long term, not because of its implication, not because I'm that interested in Walmart becoming a bank. I'm interested in what it means for Walmart to become a bank, for Walmart to offer banking services. Cara Familet, welcome. Wow, I'm glad you're here, and I'm so happy that you are with us today. If you've got any blockchain questions or any kind of questions about DeFi, Web 3.0, if you're worried about NFTs or thinking about them, we're doing an awful lot of work in that department. And while you're thinking about those questions, and again, please, talk amongst yourselves, because I know that there's a big, solid group of you out there, and it's wonderful for you not only to talk to me, but to talk to each other. Hey there, Tom Herman, joining late from Connecticut. Welcome. While we're talking and waiting for some of your questions, this happened the other day. As you know, the Delta dilemma is real, and New York State just decided to, I guess New York City became the first city to mandate vaccine passports, which we've talked about many times on this show and on its predecessor show. The Strategy Hacker live stream, all of my speaking engagements through the end of 21 are officially now 100%. All of my speaking engagements through the end of 21 are now virtual again. We had about 50-50. It was about half live and half online, and now all of it's online. All of it. And I'm a little sad about that. I was so excited to go see people. I really was. Not going to happen. not till the end of that, and I am crossing my fingers about CES this coming year. Oh, I was so seriously looking forward to getting to Las Vegas. We canceled our trip to iHeart Weekend. I don't know if that's going to go forward. I hope it goes forward, and I hope it's safe, but I just don't know. That's in September. And yeah. To that end, though, we did one, and I mean, it's a tiny silver lining for us at the Palmer Group. We made an announcement last week that I'm really proud of. It's 1 week ago today we made the announcement that Verizon and the Palmer Group have announced a partnership, and the partnership is for a brand new service. It's called Blue Jeans Premium Production Services, powered by the Palmer Group. And what this is all of the streaming tools that we have developed over the past, I'm going to call it decade. And the skills that we have honed with the producers that we have been spending time with over the last, call it, year and a half, we've been very lucky to be able to spend a lot of time with a lot of our friends who do very high level production, very high quality audio and video, good graphics, and we're really excited to announce this partnership. And what we're going to do is we're going to offer event services to Blue Jean Events clients. Now, the Blue Jean Events tool is different from the Blue Jeans chat client, which is like Zoom and similarly featured, or Teams. The events product has a green room and the ability to have up to 150,000 attendees. You can pull people out of the audience and put them on stage, on the virtual stage. You can have a large group of people who are on a panel moderated. It's a really nice tool set. It's on the Verizon network, which is really a big deal because that's a fantastic network, end-to-end glass. It's really good, and we've seen some incredible quality where so many of the things I've attended have had fatal or severe technical challenges. It's not something that tends to happen in the Verizon world. Their network is pretty robust. It's actually very robust. And so I was super pleased when Verizon reached out and we started to talk about what we could do to make the Blue Jeans Events product a product that included the ability for you to have as big of a production as you want. So you want 3 or 4 trucks the way that you do a golf tournament or a political convention or a trade show or an award show, which is, you need 300 cameras, we're there. You need 20 cameras, we're there. You need 2 cameras, we're kind of still there. Now you're getting to the point where you don't really need us. But you're running a 3-5 camera shoot, or you're running a couple camera shoot in 5-6 rooms, and you want them all to be available to a large audience, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 employees, closed circuit, 100,000 employees, closed circuit will be able to do that. So, yeah, I'm very excited about the partnership. And you can learn about it at palmer.net, which is just my last name with a .net after it. So let's see. We've got a couple questions here. Oh, yes, thank you. I appreciate the words of congratulations from everyone. Yeah, we're very excited about this. The question here is, we still own a lot of GBTC, which we bought in 2019, since we've been using MetaMask, Tagami, and Coinbase. Any thoughts on the future of GBTC? It seems almost like a relic to me now. All right. I don't give financial advice on this show, or ever. I'm not a licensed financial advisor, and so that would be really not a good thing for me to ever do. So I don't. I would like everyone, and I hate people say, do your own research. Yeah, you should always do your own research. This is the Wild West. Only it's wilder. Like, no matter how chaotic, no matter how no rule of law, no matter how anarchistic, no matter how dystopian, like, use your favorite crazy word to describe a world where no one is in control of anything except the people who are. If you're not one of the people who are in control of this, and there are some, very clearly there are some, understand that you're not one of the people in control of this, and you're just trying to time the market. Again, not financial advice, just common sense advice. On a personal note, people ask me all the time what I hold. I hold 100% of the cryptocurrency that I've ever purchased. I've never sold a crypto coin. I have never swapped a crypto coin, with one exception. I do have 75 different bots buying and selling right now, but they're not buying and selling to accumulate profit in fiat currency. They are experimental algorithms that I'm just playing with. It's money that is, in my mind, in a casino, and all of the profits, if there are any, from the bots is being accumulated in the currency that it's trading. So if I'm trading USD for any altcoin, doesn't matter what the altcoin is. If I'm trading for it, whatever the altcoin is that I'm trading USD for and trying to buy, and I might be dollar cost averaging up or dollar cost averaging down. I might have a regress to the mean bot. There's any number of different kinds of strategies you can use. Any of those bots, the goal of those bots is to accumulate the currency that it's trading, not to show a profit in USD. So in this respect, I am still not selling any crypto. I'm only accumulating. The crypto that I like to look at is very specific. I look at utility coins on projects that require utility coins where I think the project has legs. I'm not making any recommendations here, but I'm interested in layer 2 solutions. I'm interested in polynets or meta networks, meta chains and poly chains. So what does that mean? Blockchains of blockchains, oracles, data gathering tools. I'm interested in the tool sets that will build Web 3.0, and I'm interested in the tool sets that empower NFTs, and I'm interested in the tool sets that empower translation from one blockchain to another. Remember, when you write a smart contract, one of the things you can do in a smart contract is you can call another smart contract, right? You can reference another smart contract. So anything that empowers that, or let's say, for example, you've got some things that are written on Ethereum, some are written on Polkadot, some are written on Polygon, some are written maybe in 6 months from now on Cardano, on the Cardano blockchain, which any minute we should start to see the smart contract features be available. How do you put all that together? Who is going to empower that? Who's going to make it convenient for people so that I don't have to have 75 currencies in my digital wallet if I'm trying to use some as the coin of the realm, some as stores of value, some as just stuff I want to buy and sell every day or use to buy goods and services. So those are the things I look at, and you can tell what they are. There is a wonderful little resource we put together. You can go to shellypalmer.com/blockchain. There you will find a database. It's the read-only version of the Airtable database that we use to evaluate companies, and we keep updating that every day. You'll also find a list of really short takes on what certain things are, some vocabulary lessons. You'll find a glossary there and links to some things that I really like and use a lot. So it's all of that's free, and you're welcome to it. It's shellypalmer.com/blockchain, and that will that's probably a really good resource for you. While we're thinking about it, just thinking about great resources, one of the funnest things I'm doing right now is a weekly podcast with my very good friend Seth Everett, who is so fun to hang out with. We talk about the silliest stuff. We talk about Comic-Con, and we talk about TV shows, and we talk about pop culture, and we talk about tech, and we talk about the integration of those two things. What's new, what's next, what's funny, what's fun, and we also talk a little bit of sports. It's just basically the two of us getting together and taking the news of the day and having our way with it. It's available on Apple Podcasts, and it's available at Spotify and Amazon and Google Play as well. So you can find it wherever you get the podcasts you like. You can find it there, and I hope you will take a minute, give a listen, and we can always take a 5-star review from you if you don't mind. Lori asks, what's the impact reliance on trusting centralized applications and TOS agreements in NFT apps like OpenSea and top, rather than a single source of trust provided by a blockchain and decentralization? Wow, that is a fantastic question, Lori. Let's go into that. I like that question. I like that a lot. Just to reiterate, what Lori is asking is, if you're relying on OpenSea and their terms of service, and it's more centralized because it is a centralized exchange. OpenSea is a company run by people who have sovereignty over the things and they have a terms of service agreement, as opposed to your NFT is in your digital wallet. You display it however you want. You pin it using Pinata or whatever else you want to just pin it so that you know it's around. It has a content ID and it's living on a blockchain somewhere. And in most cases, that would be Ethereum. It doesn't have to be, but it would be on the Ethereum blockchain probably in 2021. Well, I think it's obvious, but we'll go over it anyway. Whenever you're working with someone who is a centralized authority, you are trusting them. I trust Facebook with my photos. Hopefully I've got a local copy of every photo I put on Facebook. But if I don't, if Facebook goes away or decides to delete my stuff or close my account, my photos are gone. Twitter deletes my account, my tweets are gone. I probably don't have copies of those. They're a central authority. If Google deletes my Gmail account, same. That's the only place it is. If I don't have it backed up locally, or if I don't have it mirrored locally, it's gone. I'm trusting Google won't do that to me. I don't know that they won't, but I'm trusting that they won't. The terms of service say they won't. They might. I don't know. That's the risk you take with a central authority. When you have a blockchain, there's a little mythology around that it's forever. Blockchains are forever, that's true, but there's not a lot of room on a block to store anything. I mean, it's a terrible database. A blockchain is good for the metadata that it stores, but it's not really good to store a thing. For there you've got file systems like IPFS, the Interplanetary File System, which is a decentralized database. Anybody who's familiar with BitTorrent knows how that feels, right? We've been around a while. They've been decentralized everything for a long time. Some popular with some, not so popular with others. So if you have an NFT that belongs to you and you write the metadata that describes it to Ethereum, which you can do in about 10 seconds, all you need to do is download the software for the code for an ERC 721 compliant smart contract. That is an NFT or an 1155. It'll take you about an hour to write that. You can put it anywhere you want, including OpenSea, but as long as that thing is living, custody of that is living in your digital wallet and it's written to Ethereum, it's yours. When you do something on Top Shot, it's theirs. You have to go through some hoops to pull that off of there. So there's a lot of NFT-ish, NFT-like with a dash, products out there where you think you got an NFT. You don't. You have a password and username that gets you to a marketplace that someone centralized owns that's representing an NFT. If you right-click it, it's probably yours. And where is the chain of custody written? Because if an NFT is anything, if a non-fungible token is anything, it is the immutable writing of the ownership authenticity to a blockchain. You are the rightful owner of this token. End of story. That's all it is. That's all it is. So, I mean, Lori, it's a long way of saying that the single source of trust, we're used to it. I actually believe, sociologically, people are going to care much less about decentralization than they say they will. I think people are going to generally like the convenience of things where parts of the process is centralized. And the more I dig into Web 3.0, and I dig in hard now, I mean, we're really looking at every startup we can possibly look at. We're looking at every project we can possibly look at. I keep saying to myself, somebody passed on the Beatles 5 times. Like, I will look at every single DeFi, every blockchain project, everything. And the more I look at it, the more I realize there are some values to decentralized websites. But to the level that they need to work in a browser, then they're going to have to be as fast and they're going to have to be as secure as a Web 2.0 website. So if websites are what we're building, the world of Web 3.0 has a long way to go before it starts to meet the capability set, the ease of manufacture, and the user experience that a Web 2.0 website has. So there's a lot of things we can do with Web 3.0. I'm not sure websites, which are all proof of concept anyway, is the actual future thereof. Corey is asking a question. Corey B is asking a question. And this question is, can you explain yield farming? Let's see. What is the value proposition of a person issuing the yield? Oh, okay. And the next one is, what do you expect from the U.S. SEC announcement that the chair wants to be able to regulate cryptocurrencies? With 5 minutes left, Corey, what I'm going to do, yield farming is one of my favorite subjects. It's an amazing, amazing, amazing world of scammers, and it's a game of musical chairs where you definitely do not want to be the last one standing. I will dedicate, barring any craziness with the IP 1559 tomorrow, I will dedicate next week's Crypto Wednesday to a full 45 minutes of yield farming. You will love this. It is so fun to talk about. It's where all of the, quote, shit coins come from. There's altcoins, there are stable coins, there are privacy coins, there are stealth coins, but the shit coins where you go to yield farm, this is a game, and the kids have gamified it. What I ask you to do between now and next week is go on YouTube and go look for some yield farming tutorials, which are gamified. This is literally a bunch of kids who have gamified, and they know that it is Ponzi-nomics. These are insane Ponzi-nomic schemes. Now, I'm not going to tell you there aren't some hardened criminals doing this, because there are. And it is amazing how much money is being made by people who are preying on gullible people. I promise you, we'll do, barring anything crazy, we'll do it next week. Stephen Sobel, your question, what do I expect from the U.S. SEC announcement that they want to regulate crypto? I can answer this in under a minute, which I'm going to do. I expect the United States government to be bifurcated the way everything else about the government is bifurcated for a while. Not necessarily along political lines, although there seem to be some political, ideological differences. The Fed seems to encourage innovation in finance. The SEC's job is to regulate. The gray areas here, where the IRS, the SEC, the Fed, and Congress all must intersect on regulation, is profoundly not understood by any of the interested parties. The great news is everyone's paying a lot of attention to this. The bad news is nobody's really coming forth with a comprehensive policy, which should surprise no one. So I don't think much of this announcement, and I don't think much of, and I'm not taking any stock in any of this. I will believe some of this when an event occurs where the government either decides the IRS must have a piece of this, the SEC must regulate it, something like a Madoff scheme gets unveiled, and there's a huge outcry, and the FTC and the SEC and the IRS and the FBI and everybody is called in to figure out what's gone on here. Sure, that would instigate everyone sort of rallying behind, but sans anything like that, and I don't think that's going to happen. We're going to be having these conversations just like this every couple days forever. It's priced into the cryptocurrency market. It's priced into the way everybody thinks about it. And by the way, I can't wait for someone to regulate this, because unless it's globally regulated, it's not really regulated. And remember, to truly regulate the world of DeFi and Web 3.0, you have to regulate the actual internet. To stop this stuff, you have to turn off the internet, which, China can do. Governments can do. It's hard. It's really, really hard. So it is now just 12:59, and I want to be done at 1 o'clock, because I promise people that I will always be done at 1 o'clock. I love being here with you every week, Wednesdays, from 12:15 to 1. We will continue to do this. I'm super psyched about it. Tomorrow there's an incredible podcast with Lisa Farris. You can go to shellypalmer.com or just hit me up on Twitter, or just do @ShellyPalmer on Twitter. You'll see the how to get your credentials to listen to this podcast. It's about NFTs and the music business. Lisa Farris is amazing. She's at the Grammy Awards. She runs innovation for the Grammys, and we had such a fun convo, and it's going to air tomorrow afternoon. So please check that out. Have any questions at all, you can always find me. I am super easy to find. Please send me an email, Shelly@shellypalmer.com. I absolutely want to hear from you. Any questions you have, if you've got a project, if you know of a project, you got a startup, you know of a startup, anything you're doing in this space, this is so super fun, so new. We're looking at everything, we're talking to everybody, and we're just having a blast doing it. I hope everybody stays safe. I hope this Delta variant thing goes away soon, and whether it does or not, I hope you are very, very safe and sound, and your family and friends are safe and sound. Please, again, reach out at your convenience, and everyone have a fabulous, fabulous, fabulous week. We'll see you next time.